What is good, YouTube? So this video is about just a little thought I just had. But for a while, for a while, as in like last year, for like a 3 month span, I thought that everything was meaningless. And realistically it is. But if if you want, what the fuck? Ugh, so that's disgusting. But if you want to succeed in life, you can't think everything is meaningless. You can think certain things are meaningless, but there's like when it comes down to it, like you shouldn't think everything is because when I last year when I was like, oh yeah, fuck everything, like I'm just gonna, be homeless, travel the world, figure it out, work jobs, and just go with the flow, that mindset's gonna get you nowhere in life. And a lot of successful people have this mindset, but I feel like that mindset leads to realization and action because we want to do whatever we want. We want to be free, but you need money to be free, right? Or else you're just a pawn, or you're an incel, and you're nobody, right? So what my thought was is like you have to care about first world problems so you can be successful, and not in the long term. You don't have to care about first world problems forever because eventually you're gonna get old and you're not gonna give a fuck about things. But if you care about having the nice car, if you care about having the nice looking Instagram account, if you care about these like certain things that are very pronounced in or profound in today's modern society, you will find yourself wanting to work towards those goals and work towards those things. And even like I said, they don't matter. It's really just a game of life or death. Like that's really what life is. If you want success and you want to do the things you want to do, so you could utilize that time of being born until you die. If you want to just live the most, you have to care about those things, because that will motivate you and that will bring you success. And caring about people's opinions, that's a big thing too. Like digital footprints, everyone's like, oh, I'm just gonna post whatever the fuck I want. If that's your niche, then so be it. I know there's a lot of people on Instagram I follow where they just post whatever and silly things because that's their niche. That's how they make their money, right? Like comedy skits or I don't know, like even like TikTokers dancing, right? They do that thing. They do those things so they get to live. And yeah, it really um, like reputation. Sorry, reputation's a big thing. Um, being nice to people, like just even like greeting people on the road. Like sometimes like, oh fuck this guy. Like I don't want to say hi to him. And then you're like, I'll just be nice because we're all on this planet together. You might as well be a good human. But also like that repair goes a long way sometimes, and not saying fuck everybody, I'm right. I'm saying like, I'm wrong. If you say you're in the wrong, or if you say my fault, you'll be more susceptible or more open to new ideas, and that will just get you further, and so on and so on. But what I'm saying is just like key summary of this little video is that to follow through with success, to actually want to pursue a life of success and make sacrifices, you have to acknowledge the outcome. So if I want a nice car, or if I want a nice phone, if I want a hot girlfriend, if I want to provide myself with nice camera gear so I can pursue my passion of film, I I have to acknowledge those things that cost money, and I have to dedicate time so I can work to those things. And you have to believe in delaying gratification. You have to believe in the bigger picture. You have to believe that every time you put in the work, it will only show up 2, 3 months down the line. It's just like the gym, except it's like 2, 4 weeks or something like that. When you're you're working out, you're eating, all that shit. That shit's not gonna, like, all that muscle you're putting on, all that size, all the strength, it's not gonna actually come down for, yeah, like 2, 4 weeks down the line. So it's the same thing with that. Um, yeah, so I would just say, like, care about that shit. Like, not, maybe not care, but acknowledge that and want those things, because I bet you everybody that is on the internet that is like a like a millionaire or billionaire, whatever, like a guy like Gary Vee or Alex Hormozy, if you guys know who those guys are. But even those guys, you might look at them and be like, oh, all they care about is money. All they care about is just being rich as fuck. They do care about that, but they probably have a lot of the same thoughts I have about death, and they're probably very, very um, persistent on those thoughts. They probably thinking about it a lot more than me, and they use that shit as a motivator. You know what I mean? So I would just say, write some shit down, write some shit you want, and use it to motivate yourself, and use it as a discipline factor. Like I don't need a nice car. I don't need a nicer phone. I don't need a better laptop for video editing, stuff like that. But I want those things. And if I could use it as fuel for me to like actually achieve success, then like why not? You know, it, it's hard to it's hard to reward yourself with um intangibles. You have to give yourself some like some tangible items. Like it's like we learn in psychology. It's like there has to be a tangible punishment and there has to be a tangible reward. You can't just say, "Oh, the reward is that I feel successful and I feel free." Like you have to give yourself some like, I'll be able to buy a nice house. I'll be able to, buy whatever food I want. I'll be able to give myself that nice car. You know, and some negatives could be like, it can't just be like, I'll feel broke as fuck. It's gotta be like, what's it called? Some forfeits or something like that. Think of some forfeits. I don't get to do this, and instead I have to put more time. I don't get to go out this weekend, and instead I put more time into work, which is still a bit of an intangible, but you're like physically doing that thing. It's not like a feeling. You're physically doing. Yeah, that's the video. Probably post this up on YouTube. Peace out, gangy.